All right, here we go with some Bant Knightfall action. We mulligan down to 6, and we have this on top. I'm going to keep it, um, and we'll probably draw it. We're going to, I think, play this. We'll fetch out a basic forest on our next turn after we draw that. The Horizon Companion, we need a 4th land because we have Collected Company in hand, and it's a good one if we do flood out a little. It'll offset that a little bit. So our opponent's on some sort of combo deck here, so Spellcaller should be pretty good. That's for sure. But yeah, here we can curve our Selfless Spirit into our Spellcaller into our Collected Company, and hopefully that's enough to mess with him. Of course, it depends what he's playing and how fast he is going off. What did he do with his cards here? One on the bottom, one bottom, one top. Fair enough. Okay, so um, I think our life total doesn't matter. So let's go. So Kita base. I'm gonna limit how much damage we do to ourselves because this could still be a Delver deck of some sort. So we'll minimize it just a little here. Get the Hallowed Fountain. It'll give us everything we need on our next turn. Although this gives us the white. Maybe we just fetch out the plane. Well, we don't have blue. Yeah, we're gonna have to get the Hallowed Fountain. That's fine. Hopefully, I'm not sure. There's a lot of different. How you fetch here depends on what we put our opponent on. If he's thinks he's on some sort of Delver deck or the Prowess deck, then doing that damage could be pretty bad. If he's just on a combo deck, which maybe he's looking like that's the case, then what we did was fine. And in that case, maybe you'd even want to fetch for something other than the basic forest there. Just give yourself all the options. Instead, I hedged a little bit. Okay, well, there's a target. Yep, this is the perfect combo because we get our damage in this way, but we can also sacrifice this to protect our Spellcaller on the next turn. He plays Izzet Charmed there, so he's almost certainly on some sort of combo deck. Since Izzet Charm's sort of the do-it-all. Thopter Engineer, huh? Sure, okay. So the point of this, I assume, is to give his artifact creatures haste. Some sort of Madcap deck? I'm going to save that if it is Madcap. Well, we're going to get in with this. Don't want to trade off our spirit for the Thopter, but I think what we take from this is our opponent is probably playing Madcap Experiment, which is going to get Platinum Empyrean. And this gives the Platinum Empyrean haste. That or he's playing something crazy like Shape Anew. But that seems less likely. I mean, I guess it's not just the worst card on its own, but it's probably Madcap Experiment coming out here, which is fine. It's actually not a big deal to us at all. We'll just Fairgrounds Warden it after we company. We don't even need to path it. Oh, he's just gonna bolt our guy, huh? So there's actually a couple ways to play this here. We could company now, and then sack it so our accompanied creatures have indestructible. Um, we could sack it, which might lead him to then burn another spell to try to get our spell queller. At which point we could company to try to find something to protect the spell queller. But that leaves us very blown out if we miss and he gets to kill the spell queller anyways, and then he gets the Izzet Charm to kill what we companied into. So I'm just gonna do this. I don't know exactly what our opponent's doing here, but trading Lightning Bolt for our Selfless Spirit's sort of fine. Oh, I am gonna take the bait here though. Now that he's moved into combat, we don't have to worry about something crazy. We're going to get countered, though. Remanded. Okay, I guess. I don't know exactly what our opponent's doing here. Alright, that's a good land for us because now we can... I'm going to go ahead and... yeah. We can company here. Um, and still hold a path. I think I'm fine doing this in the main phase to get around counter spells on his turn. So, and here we have some pretty good ones. So we can take 2 5/5 Knight of the Reliquaries, or we can get a Pride Mage, which would destroy his Platinum Empyrean if it comes in. I think I'm fine with that. Because we still have the path. I mean, maybe that's redundant. Maybe we just take the 2 big threats since we have path and Fairground Wardens in hand. I'm not sure. It's also, you know, gets in some incidental damage, which is not irrelevant. Uh-oh. Yep. Okay, well, maybe it doesn't do that. Yeah, he could have got punished so hard by that company he let resolve. It's really unfortunate. I'm gonna probably try to take down our Pride Mage here. Yep, we can use it to kill his Thopter, I guess. I mean, I guess that's what we do. Then again, we just get blown out if he does have the Empyrean after that, so I'm not going to do that. So we'd take a damage to do it, and sure we'd I guess save a damage, but then we'd take 8 or off the hasted Empyrean. So not going to do that. I'm going to keep up our path here. Yeah, that's what we put him on. You can see how. Ugh. Uh-oh. Okay. Oh my gosh, it's just a Thopter beatdown. That's... Well, we missed that stop. It's a lot of haste. Okay. That doesn't feel great. Kessig Wolf Run. We don't have the red mana, nor can we get it super easily. Let's draw a card. There's a township. Well, I think we get in there. And then we... Fairground Warden his Pia and Kieran. I mean, I could just be completely wrong about the Madcap. And that, I mean, sadly, it completely changes how we play the game. So that's, it's the downside here. He's got a lot of cards, too, and we don't have a ton of life. I'm not sure that we've played this game correct at all, but I mean, I basically made every decision with the assumption that there's a Madcap experiment, because he's just a blue-red not combo deck that is playing things to give artifact creatures haste. I mean, it seems like the correct assumption. So we've made every decision with that in mind, and it has not worked out at all. I don't know if I was wrong. I might do the same thing again if I had the choice, but it certainly hasn't worked out. So we'll see. I mean, we're still doing okay in the race here. I mean, obviously, if he has a lightning bolt for our Fairgrounds Warden or something like that, we're just screwed. Now here, this attack is representing Izzet Charm to finish off our guy. We can take 4 this turn, especially since we're going to have the Gavany next turn. But if we can't get this thing Izzet Charmed, we just lose. So I think we have to take that damage there. And he had it too, but he just had it all. Ugh. Okay then. All right. This should work. Let's play Retreat to Coralhelm. Oh man, what a savage top deck. He has Sudden Shock in his deck even? Jeez, his deck's actually pretty good against ours. But I think we're going to get there. Alright, let's see how much damage we can do. We have to be very careful here. We're going to have to shock ourselves for a Stomping Ground later. So let's go ahead and start by making some mana. See if we can actually make our guy big enough here. We should be able to. Obviously, in an ideal world, we fetch, so we can fetch once. Yeah, that's so we can fetch once here. So let's go ahead and start by. Let's just start with the stuff we want. We're going to fetch once and shock for the stomping ground and go down to 1. So we'll go Temple Garden, untapped here, or tapped rather, not paying life. All right, get our breeding pool, untap our guy. Get our planes, untap our guy, add a mana. Alright, so this is where we get Windswept Heath into Stomping Ground. Because we have nothing else we can put in the graveyard. Okay. We can actually even tap his guy down here with our second trigger, which is nice. Yeah. So yeah, we can tap his guy, which removes some of his toughness. Now we can pop this, get the Stomping Ground, pay the life, untap our guy. Yes. Oh my god. I used the green mana. I used the green mana earlier. So now we don't have the green mana to kill him? Because we'd... Oh my god, are you kidding me? You've got to be kidding. And we took all the basics out of our deck so we don't get anything with our Ghost Quarter. Oh, this will still work. Okay. Oh, we almost threw this game. We're going to tap this thing. We're going to path this one. Oh my god. Well, that was stressful. Almost. Okay, note to self. When preserving your life, be very careful. Okay. Okay, there you go. That was close. But, so that was actually a pretty sick game. His deck's pretty good against ours, I think. We almost threw that away. Luckily, we did not. We found the line. Glad I held that land in hand and just willy-nilly throw it away early. But we found the line. We got there. So we win the game despite the, the small mistake there. It was a pretty big mistake. These are very good for what it's worth. The Worship... He's got a lot of removal. It's probably not that good. The Dispel seems good. Okay, so the Scavenging News seems mediocre. The Solid Pride Mage doesn't seem like it does a ton here. I like everything else. Fairgrounds Warden actually seems kind of, at least what we saw there, kind of like a liability. I'm still assuming some sort of Madcap deck. It's possible we could get rid of a Scavenging News because I'm not sure what there is to eat, if he has Snapcasters or not. Wouldn't surprise me if he did. But we go ahead and board one out. Now, is any of this good? Loaming Shaman, no. The Worships, I don't think so. The Warden, no. I don't think we need more counter spells. Sony Silence, no. Blessed Alliance is not very good either. Yeah, we'll go with this. God, I can't believe we almost threw away game one like that. I was like, oh, I want to use my Forest mana first because I'm going to sacrifice them and didn't even think about it at the end. Okay, this hand is good though. As a matter of fact, this hand is top deck Knight of the Reliquary away from having the turn 3 win. It does seem like our life total is going to matter some, so especially with what we're looking at here, we can go you know, well, we drew the island, but we don't have to do anything. We can just play our normal basics here and not have to worry about our mana. I think that the right. So we're gonna do this. So because so when you have an option between birds and noble, if it seems like the additional color of mana, in this case red, that your bird can make you, you want to save that and play the hierarch because you just assume the first one's going to get bolted. In this case, since we have our colors, I saved the hierarch rather than saving the bird because the exalted is going to be more than the red mana. All right, so I guess I don't want to get force spike. I can play around the force spike. So we drew our second basic force here. I'm just gonna. I don't want our scavenging ooze to just die. I'm kind of considering slow rolling it, which is what I'm gonna do. I'm fine with this. I'm gonna play the hierarch. You know, can get mana leaked. If it gets remanded, we can replay it. Although we have to shock ourselves now because we drew the forest. But I don't want to just play the Scooze there and get it remanded or mana leaked or whatever. And then just, you know, have thrown away the turn. Sure. Or get it lightning bolted. In this case now, we can play the retreat on our next turn. Then on turn 4, play the scavenging ooze and have 2 activations of it ready to go. Or at least 1, depending on how we fetch here. But you get the idea. Ooh. I don't want him to Is It Charm us, so I'm just going to hold up the Spell Queller here. We can hold up Spell Queller, or we can just play the Retreat, and the Retreat's better long-term value. But it gets Spell Quellered because the Retreat gets Is It Charm because Is It Charm can counter a, I believe it is a non-creature spell unless they pay 2. Now in this case, with them doing nothing, oh, there's a Tarmogoyf. Okay. Tarmogoyf seems acceptable. That said, we could do nothing and wait till next turn and have it. Alright, now I'm going to feel comfortable running out the retreat. Because I don't want to play Spell Queller this turn. Sure. I want to Spell Queller and Tarmogoyf next turn so that we can play Tarmogoyf and use our Spell Queller to protect it. We have creature, land, instance, so it's not going to be huge, but it's just mono Thopters, huh? I wonder if it's Shape Anew, which is polymorph for. So since we have the retreat, I'm just going to save this. We can fetch out our planes with it whenever we need to. Alright, let's play. Get the Goyf in here. Our 3/4 Goyf. Maybe it's just Thopter Tribal that almost stole a game from us. Who knows? This is at a lightning bolt range. That's the important thing. Okay. I think I'm fine with this. I think I'm actually going to go for the block. I mean, maybe we just aren't supposed to let that resolve. But if we Spell Queller it and he just bolts our Spell Queller, then we, you know, he gets his guy anyway. And in this case, if he doesn't have it, it's the same if he has the bolt, right? And if he doesn't, then we get to take it away and make any removal later. He's, you know, down the Thopter, since we don't have any great ways to protect this right now. And he had it. So, you know, see, if we had Spell Quellered it, he would have just bolted it before combat and had the exact same attack. This gave us the possibility of eating a guy and being good against removal later. Sure. Also, we're just setting up now. You can see why I didn't want to play the Scavenging Ooze on turn 2. We just get to set it up forever and save it. Here I'm going to continue to go slow, play the retreat, play the Spellskite, play the land, and now we can just scry. You know, you don't always need it for value. Don't always need a combo. Sometimes you just scry, get that scry value. For instance, we don't want that breeding pool. Now we can race. Now we're not winning the race by any means right now. What is this? It can't block and he can pump his stuff? Sure. He just wants to throw it away. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, but Spellskite can protect our Tarmogoyf here. Well, that's why it's legendary. So this whole game has played out in a way that, you know, you can see we're racing, etc., but we prioritize to play this card last. And that's really important because there's now a lot of fodder for it to get big and gain a bunch of life. So you got our stomping ground in case we draw the Kessig Wolf run. Now you can also use fetch lands as pseudo fogs with retreat later on. I'm going to keep that. Is now we're going to attack, and then we're going to play our Scavenging Ooze and protect it as best we can. Yeah, he just wants to race, but that's fine because Scavenging Ooze is going to be very good at racing. We have Dispel up, we have Spellskite up, and we get to eat 3 creatures this turn. So what he really needs is a counterspell, but we can play around them all. So this is pretty good for us. I think this will help us win the race. It depends what he has. Obviously, he's got a lot of Thopters, and that'll poke us pretty hard. But our draws are going to be pretty good thanks to the retreat, because even our lands help us later. I'm going to counter this just because I don't want to give him a card. And, you know, need use of the spell on something, may as well take away the card from him. Now we can still protect it with Spellskite. I'm going to go ahead and get it out of Lightning Bolt range right now, though. So the reason I'm doing this in our main phase is so that, so we need to eat a creature, eat our birds here. We get live, sure, whatever, that's fine. But it's a 4/4 naturally now, so there's no weird thing where he, lightning bolted, then we try to eat stuff, and then he has another lightning bolt. This just keeps it safe as is, and doesn't punish us for trying to do stuff at the end of the turn. Because it is still going to be an interesting race. Because we can't do anything about these. And his deck is full of burn. So Spellskite takes the edge off of Lightning Bolt a little bit, but... Oh gosh, I forgot about this. He just gets to pump his guys. Ugh. It's pretty good, actually. I mean, yeah, he just goes in on it. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage we take. Can't do that forever. We're going to need to draw something. Gosh, and you can even trade with a Spell Queller or something if he, Interesting. Okay. Oh, I can do this, can I? Oh, good to know. It's not actually worth it in this case because he is, yeah, that's good to know, though. Because it's plus, 1, we're paying 2 life to save 1 damage. It's not worth it. But it's worth it for the next turn. Good to know. Alright, so now we can eat this Noble Hierarch, gain another life, make the Scavenging Ooze very big. Let's see what we draw. That's a pretty good draw. Alright, get our attack on. Yes. Saving the Scavenging Ooze was very well worth it, I think. We played this game much slower than we could have. We could have just slammed it on turn 2, but I think that would have almost certainly been worse than what we've done. I think it would just died on turn 2 and we'd be stuck with, a bunch of ground creatures and been unable to interact. Just the life we're going to gain off of this is going to be huge. Spell Queller also a nice draw. Makes us use our 1 mana, our blue mana here, but that's fine because we can take out one of his guys. Debatably even worth letting him sink a bunch of mana into it to trade with a Spell Queller. And then just eating the Spell Queller with Scavenging Ooze. We'll see. So this, gotta keep him, I guess he can make our guy not work, or not block, but he's throwing away point of damage to do so. Let's see what he decides on. He's got a lot of options. There's a lot of ways this could go right here, and he's got 2 spells in hand as well, so it's entirely possible it just ends in a flurry of burn spells and kills us, but we'll see. We shall see. Looks like we're... Oh, just going for it. Okay. Main phasing it. Interesting. I wish we'd got that Hallowed Fountain now. I don't know what was correct there or not. If we had drawn Kessig Wolf Run, it obviously would have been great. Oh, I see. Okay, Spellskite cannot block. I agree. Let's play our Spell Queller. I think this means he's probably got Lightning Bolt, right? Maybe not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, it was just lethal. I see. Regardless if he had... No, it wasn't, though, because of our Scavenging Ooze, so I'm not sure. I do know that I will be blocking this Pia Nalar, though. Which means he'll probably have to throw away a Thopter to make it not block. Still take a bunch of damage that way, but... He's tapped out, so in theory we kill him on the backswing. That's the hope. This is a tough choice for him here. Also, I mean, he might have a counterspell. He might have a Remand or something, which is also bad for us. Because we cannot recast it. That Stomping Ground fetch earlier might have been greedy. Might have been the wrong choice. He's going to draw 2 and discard 2. Okay, that's fine. So he's looking for a Lightning Bolt, I guess. Oh, you see, he actually went pretty hard on this now because he's not going to be sacrificing a guy. Guess he didn't find anything. Yeah, let's pull this game back up. Okay, so his hand is, oh my gosh. So what if, well, he went, it was very greedy of him. Wow. I mean, I guess if he played the PN Kieran, we would have Spell Quellered it. God, but then he could, and Sudden Shock wouldn't work, but we certainly would have almost certainly blocked. Well, I guess he wouldn't have been able to present lethal at that point. What if he had just come in with these 3, paid 2, so it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, put us at 4. We gain a lot. No, it's got Sudden Shock. Yeah. Like, if he just had done that, I don't know that I probably would have gained the life before the damage, which is the big one here. But if you just come in, it would have been 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. If you just pumped once, 3, 4, put us at 4, and then we don't actually ever get a chance to respond to the Sudden Shock with the Scavenging Ooze. I mean, he could have just gone to the end of the turn, and we try to Scavenging Ooze gain a life, and he just Sudden Shocks us twice, and we die. I don't know. This felt like an unnecessarily greedy play on his part to come at us like that. I think with the double burn spells in hand. Whew. All right. I don't know. I don't know how it would have played out. I think I would have been smart enough to gain the life before the damage was dealt. In which case we would have been at 5 and Sudden Shocks wouldn't kill us. But he would have had blockers and then end these guys next turn. So, I mean, this was a great draw on our part, but I don't know. I'll take it though. Good game.